Hello everybody, and welcome back to Roads Yet Traveled. We are hanging out with Roan. We're still gonna pronounce his name as Roan, I think. Until, you know what, even if someone tells me how to fully pronounce this, I'm never gonna change. I think it's too late. But we're here praising our favorite little autistic boy. You know, he does a good job on the ship, right? He does a very good job. Sorry, I got another question. I think Morrow said you were trained to do repairs on the exterior of the station. Is that true? He almost trips over himself as I ask, taking a second to look back at me with a confused expression. I didn't know that he knew that. Oh, maybe he or read it on your file. You do have a file, right? He must have. Sorry, I'm just surprised, since I'm one of the only mechanics that's trained to do it. Mind you, most of the time engineering goes outside to fix any issues. I'm usually called just to repair missing panels or some of the exterior lighting. I'm sure it's far more interesting than that. Okay, maybe it is a bit more interesting. But really, I don't get to do a lot of the complicated repairs. I mainly just help out. Is anyone else on your team trained for that kind of work? Oh, it's just me. I've been trying to train my assistants, but since we don't get called out here very often, we don't get access to the suits. And it's a bit hard to train someone how to work on the exterior of the station without the spacesuit. Okay, that's fair. And wait, your assistants? I'm sorry, did you tell me their names before? Oh, just in passing. It's Cass and Milo. Will they be around today? Probably, but I don't know if I'm allowed to introduce you to more people right now. Not that I don't want to, just I wasn't expecting to have to show you around today. I was halfway through finishing some scheduling when I had to run to get you. Couldn't Dr. Seno have scheduled me sooner? No, I don't think so. He was called out to go and do something with Tyre. It sounded kind of urgent, and I think it was a last-minute thing. Oh, really? Well, Chief Seno has been busy, so I imagine it's important. Huh. He gives me a worried look before trying to change the subject. But, it's okay that you're here. I knew I was going to have to take care of. Host you, eventually. Although, today might be a bit hectic. There's a lot to repair and we only have so many paws to do it. I have a feeling every day is hectic for Roan. He doesn't seem like the type of person who ever stops. Well, you have 2 more paws to help you out today if you need them. I say, holding up my hands. Oh, you don't have to do anything, Tucker. You can just stay in my office if you want to. No. I don't care how polite he's being with that offer. If I find myself stuck in some room all day again, I will lose it. I'd rather not stay in the same place all day if that's alright. And hey, I can help carry things, remember? You did say that would be helpful, didn't you? Oh, well, I was just kidding. You don't have to do that, bud. No, really, I want to. It'd be nice to get out and see more of the station. Oh, well. Yeah? Well, most of the repairs are in the maintenance areas, and so it will just be a lot of tunnels like this. Of course. Well,
It's better than being stuck in another office. I guess that's okay. Yeah.
Don't worry, there's still plenty to see down here.
Yeah, like what? I don't think he was ready to give me an example. His pace becomes glacial as he gets lost in thought, and I swear I can almost see the gears in his head turning. The lights on his arms softly glow against the cool background. I'm glad I'm not particularly claustrophobic, otherwise this day might be a bit more stressful than it already is. I wonder what Marrowyn's doing right now. I'm upset he had to run off like that, but I hope Tyre isn't giving him a hard time. Maybe I should...
Oh, I know! I could show you the thrusters!
The what?
The thrusters! Or what's left of them. The stations... It didn't just get here by itself. There were massive rockets that propelled it up here. But since the station doesn't really move anymore, they took them apart. It's really fascinating, though. All of the unused mechanical parts are interlocking systems.
He's positively beaming right now. I guess this is his thing after all. But it doesn't really sound like the most interesting place to visit. Isn't this the guy who sneaks around into the pools when he isn't supposed to? And he wants to show me an empty room with broken machinery. But do we get to go to said pool? Do we get to have a pool day? You know, we can't get a beach episode up here, right? So we gotta get a pool episode, right? It's gonna happen, guys. And actually, that sounds about right for him. That's great, Drone. If we have time, I'd love to see it. Coming to A of Y. What? Coming to A of wires. A of wires. What is an A of wires? He stops for a second to check for something, and quickly takes some notes on his monitor. As we stop, though, I notice another one of those signs on the wall. I guess he wasn't kidding. They're everywhere, if you can spot them behind all of the wires. I want to ask him about how he got into doing repairs, but I hold my tongue now that we approach a large door. I jump as the door starts to slide open, a mist billowing in through the gaping maw. He hurries through, only stopping to turn around and beckon me onward. Walking through the dense air, I could see the machinery here are dripping wet, water rolling down their metallic bodies. Are we close, Roan?
What? Sorry, what was that?
I was just asking if we're close.
Yeah, sorry. I was trying to finish the schedule for today. Cass messaged me and it told me that everyone's already waiting for me. Which is good, of course, but it means that I need to finish these before we get there, and, well...
Can you ask them to help with you? Help you with this? Aren't they your assistants?
Well, sure, but really, it's my job, and I will...
Seems like a lot of work for one Karen. Speaking of, how did he become the leader down here? I don't doubt his technical prowess, but he does seem to hold an impressive position for someone of his disposition. It's okay. He's just socially awkward. How do you come about that anyway? Becoming the director of maintenance and all of that?
No. Well, I originally worked on Leo until a position opened up, which I applied for right away. From there, I kept working up a position here, and was available. And well, once the director position was open, I was voted into it. I was also one of the only high-ranking crewmates available. So I don't want to say I fell into it, but it was very sudden. Sometimes I just miss fixing things, but I'm grateful for the position.
No, it sounds nice. Thanks for telling me.
No problem. Oh, this way, please.
He wasn't kidding about how close we were, as we approached one final door. Even from here, I can start to hear noises. Sure, there's the usual thumbing of pipes, and also voices! Oh my god, other people? Other dogs? Finding the right key card, much faster this time, he swipes us into. Where are we going? Cool. Look at these jumble of thingies. Look at all this. Yeah. Whatever the hell this is. Quickly looking down, I see a crowd of a few Karens just mingling and waiting. Some look up, seemingly hearing us come in, and beginning pointing in our direction. A paw lands on my back and gently guides me into a dark room until I hear a light switch behind me. Oh, look at all this. Look at all that. Okay. Oh, you knew. This is exactly what I imagined his office would look like. Oh, not you knew, you know? Sorry, one letter off, 75% of the way there. We're good. You know! How does he manage to get any work done in this, though? Maybe this is just where he keeps his stuff. After seeing what Doc's office looks like, I can't help but feel a little bad. But maybe he doesn't need as much room. Wow, Roan, is this whole room yours?
Yeah, it's pretty great, right? I can work on repairs in here, or even personal work, when I have the time. But it's great because I can just keep all of my extra parts in here and see if I can do anything interesting with them.
Oh, they just let you keep anything you replace?
Well, no one's told me otherwise.
Oh my god, Roan. Roan! Look at this dopey smile. He doesn't even know if he's doing anything wrong. You just gotta go pat. What?
Now, do you mind staying here for just a bit, Tucker? I have to go and hand out the morning schedules. Assignments.
Can I come with you? He's about as confused as I am. Why'd I ask for that? Because you don't want to be stuck in one place, you know? One background. We've basically had 2 backgrounds this whole game. And look at all this. All this junk. I want to appreciate it. These last 3 backgrounds, very good. Very lovely. I mean, I really don't want to get stuck in an office all day, and I don't think it's a big crowd. Roan said his crew was about 13, maybe 14 people. I can deal with that. Then again, there's no way to know how they'll react. But if I'm ever going to get used to seeing them and get them used to seeing me, I need to start somewhere.
I'm not sure that's the best idea for you to just walk out in front of them. I don't really remember what I'm supposed to do when that happens. I know Dr. Zeno said something about it. Didn't the captain say to keep you out of sight?
You tell me. I can't read the instructions he gave us. He must be really busy if he didn't read the captain's message yet. Or he's just like this. I would assume Roan is the kind of guy to be like, I'm all done. I can now do other things. And then just starts messing with the stuff on his desk, right? Just starts bashing things together. And then leaves the paperwork on the side and just gathering dust. Like my Wii U, which is still sitting next to my TV. Love that layer of dust on it. That actual layer of dust on it. Some intangible thoughts dart behind his eyes as he looks around for an excuse, one that I know he cannot find, for it is in the pages of a document he hasn't read yet.
I, I, I guess. But we have to go now. I'm late enough as it is.
I nod as he quickly gathers himself. Are we gonna see other doggos? Being able to take in the room again, I can finally appreciate just how massive it is. It must be at least 5 stories tall and just filled with extra parts and cabling. Looking down, I see the congregation has headed over to a small open area where everyone's waiting in front of a stage of some kind. Taking an elevator down, I'm hurried over by Roan, who seems to be nervous, switching between checking something on his monitor and looking at me with a worried expression. As we get closer, I can start to make out the members of his crew. They all seem to be wearing similar uniforms, although with a striking amount of variation in the designs. Some of them even have prosthetics too. They probably don't have neurons though. Neurals? Neurals. Roan tells me to stay off to the side, which works at first, as everyone looks towards Roan. It doesn't take long, however, for a head to snap to me, and then with the one startled gasp, everyone's notified of my presence. I am so sorry. I am messing up these sentences. Oh my god, look, he's got the C of G. Why did I say it that way? I don't know. You decide.
Sorry for being late.
Is that it? Oh, by the filament! It's real! Is it watching us?
So, today we have,
I knew something was up when I saw the director's name on the report. I've got to tell the others about this.
And I want to test the lights in the hangar bay, so...
Did you hear how they found it? I heard.
Maybe we could,
Is it dangerous? I only read half of the report. You'll say... I only ever read, like if it's a report, I barely read those. It's... Nah. I'm very bad at reading things, guys. I'll get mail, and I'm like... I'm not gonna read this whole thing. Of course it's dangerous. It's an alien. I mean... Quiet. If Director Tyron, okay, is speaking, then why in the fucking void do I hear other voices? A voice booms out from the back of the crowd and everyone quickly snaps to attention. Roan, however, barely seems fazed as he just continues handing out assignments. Slowly, the Karens disperse, all taking a few last glances my way before disappearing into disparate tunnels and elevators. Some look like they want to stay and ask questions, but are pulled away by their partners and begrudgingly leave. Roan closes his monitor before reaching out, holding his metallic paw just in front of his face. Fingers slowly curl and open, a perfect facsimile of flesh. Roan? His ears twitch. He heard me, whether he wants to or not. I think I might have pushed things too far. Do you need help, bud? Finally, he acknowledges my presence.
No.
After curling his hands into a fist, he breathes out a heavy sigh and turns to me.
I'm sorry, Tucker. They're usually better than that. I should have warned them that you were coming, though.
No, it's my fault. I shouldn't have pushed you like that. Should we go and fix something? Is that really all I know about him? That he likes fixing things? Do you want to go for ice cream? Like, everyone likes ice cream. You know that he likes eating. He eats. He had a burger. I think we can do that. You just, you know. God, I sound stupid. He looks around quickly before meeting my eyes.
Yeah, let's go back to my office, though. I need to have some things to pick up.
I nod, and he silently leads the way back to the elevator. Roan heads inside this office as I take the opportunity to lean against the railing and take a moment for myself. Oh, excuse me. Looking up, I notice the true scale of the room, so I can't even see the ceiling. It's either too dark, or it's obscured by the rain of cables descending like vines. It looks like a tangled mess. I can't imagine how any of it works, but I'm sure it all does. The door gently creaks open behind me, and I turn to see Roan's muzzle just barely peeking out from inside.
You, know you can come in, right?
Oh, sorry. I thought you just needed to pick some things up.
I do, but it will take a minute.
What we got here, Roan? Stepping inside, I see he's messing with a pile of bits and bobs on the desk. Seeing as he's not ready, I pull a stool over and watch him work. Despite the mess, I think he knows where everything is. He certainly has a better idea of where things are in the office than Marrowyn did. Somehow. Although he's far less gentle, as I watch pieces of metal fall to the floor as unneeded tools get flung to the other side of the room. So, what are we, you fixing today?
Oh, not much. I'm running the usual checks on some breakers, checking some lights in the maintenance halls, seeing if pipe pressure on the 7th floor is okay. The 17th floor, sorry. Maybe replacing.
He goes on and on with his list that seemingly needs to get done today. I swear he didn't assign that much to his crew workers this morning, but maybe they had harder jobs. It sounds like a lot to me, but I wouldn't know. You want to pack a bag for me to carry? You said I could help, right?
I did, didn't I?
A small smile creeps onto his face as he turns to face the room, presumably looking for a bag. I think I did stress him out this morning with my impromptu request, on top of being late for his work already, but I'm glad to see that it might not bring down his whole day. Walking over to the wall, he pulls a small satchel off a hook before turning it over and emptying the contents on the table next to him.
Oh, I was, wondering where that went.
Okay, maybe he's not actually that organized. Returning, he holds out the bag for me.
I know you already have a bag, but maybe this would be better. You can keep it too, if you want.
Gently taking the bag from him, it seems to be made of some synthetic material, but it still seems well made. Emblazoned? That's the word. On the flap is a logo that looks suspiciously like one of Maruk's jackets. Really? Thanks, Roan. Standing up to try it on, I realize the length of the strap is far too long.
Oh, let me help you with that.
Letting him take the lead, I stand with my arms apart as he gently takes the strap and starts to adjust it for me. His dexterous fingers loop the latch that's strapped through various locks before tightening it to a more reasonable length. I was really hoping he was just gonna like cut the strap and then like reattach it somehow, like with a gadget or something. Like not just like tighten it like normal, but just like just cut it, resew it, make it smaller. That's what I was hoping for. I'm not sure if Karens know about a thumbs up. God, I didn't finish reading that last sentence, did I? Yeah. Standing back to admire his work, I tug it a few times and give him a thumbs up for a job well done. I'm not sure if Karens know what thumbs ups are, but what thumbs are, as he just smiles and nods. Picking up the bag again, I turn it over a few times to inspect it more thoroughly. I feel like most people kind of know what a thumbs up is. Even aliens, right? I feel like general context of like you going like, thanks, you did a good job, and you give like a thumbs up, they'll be like, oh, that must be a gesture of like good faith, that I did a good job. You know? Something like that. Yeah, I need to adjust this window. Whoops. Okay. Hey, Roan, what's this on the front?
That's the Star of Alrain.
Star? Doesn't the star have a different name?
Yeah, well, no. That's just the flag of Alrain. It represents Lio, Urion, and Reich. Did Dr. Zeno tell you any of this?
He told me about the planets, but not about the government.
Oh, well, I don't know if he wants to tell you about it, but it just represents the system as a whole. The occupied system, at least.
Huh. Alright. I'll have to ask Mario about that some other time. Roan finishes, liberally shoving things into his bag as he scours the room for anything else that may need before we head out for the day. He hands me a few random tools to put into my bag as Whether he actually will need them or not is a different story. As he slings the loudest bag in the world over his shoulder, he turns to me one last time.
Are you ready, Tucker? We have to head up a few floors to get to the first breaker.
Hopping off my stool, I nod as he heads to the door, opening it for the both of us. A cool breeze washes over me, and I shudder. Hey, Roan, wait.
Yeah?
It might be a bit late to ask, but do you have an extra jacket I could wear? It's really cold down here.
Oh, is it? I'd give you mine, but I think you need sleeves.
He takes a second to look around the room, seeing if he can materialize a jacket beneath any pipes of scrap and junk, before walking back to the door, still lost in thought. He notices something outside before exclaiming,
Oh,
and walks off. I've learned well enough not to wait for him, closing the door to his office on my way out. Yeah, we don't want to leave him just by himself, you know? Fortunately, he hasn't gone down the elevator yet, and I can hop on as the gates close. We ride down in silence until the gate reopens, and he heads off into one of the familiar adjacent rooms. After hearing him knock something over and dig through some lockers, he comes back with a jacket.
I forgot that we have a few just in case someone loses theirs. It might be a bit big, even though I think this is the smallest size.
This is perfect. Taking the jacket, I quickly slip it on, noting that while it's not insulated, it is padded. And comically large, it drapes past my waist and even rolled up the sleeves are too long. At least the pockets are nice and spacious.
Are you sure? It's not very warm and
Roan, really? This is enough? He smiles again, and I can see a small tail wag behind him as he turns and gestures to me to follow. As we follow to one of the many tunnels, he flicks some switches and, yes, on the wall, sorry, not the floor, the wall, and lights start to flash on, slowly leading us onward. Okay, I'm gonna end the part here, everyone. So I hope you've all enjoyed, and I'll see you guys around.